Hey everybody, and welcome inside the cockpit of the Boeing 737-800. In this video, using LUV'd 5, thanks to Ryan Flynn at Southwest Virtual Airlines, I'm going to be recreating a real-world route operated by Southwest Airlines from Nashville here in Tennessee, down south to Tampa Bay in Florida. Following the AOM, first things first, we're going to verify the land gear pins. We got 3 aboard. Circuit breakers are checked. We're going to come up here to the overhead panel. DC meter selector is set to battery. Battery can go on and guarded. Fuel panel, 1 pump on. Hydraulic panel, electrics off. Air conditioning panel is checked. We're going to come down here. Landing gear lever is down. We're going to run through the fire warning and overheat test. Now that we're done with that, we're going to slide up here back to the overhead panel. AC meter selector is in the ground power position. The voltage is checked and we have a blue light. Ground power can go on. IRS left and right can be set to nav. Emergency exit lights can be armed and guarded. Now we're going to come down here to the CDU of the aircraft. And we're going to go ahead and enter our IRS position to start the alignment of the aircraft. So we're currently at Nashville, which is Kilo Bravo November Alpha. And we'll enter that as our reference airport. We'll go to the next page. Unfortunately, these coordinates are not popping up for some reason, so that's all fine. We're currently at gate Charlie 17. We'll take our gate coordinates and set that as our IRS position. Our origin is auto-populated in the scratch pad, and we'll set that. And now the aircraft's going to initialize. The flap lever is up, and the parking brake is set. So we're going to run through the wheel well test. Wheel well is illuminated. It's checked. We're going to go ahead and clear out this message in the scratch pad, and using the uplink to FMC feature in LUV'd 5. We're going to go ahead and have LUV'd 5 enter in our payload, our fuel. And then we ran through the EFB pre-flight a little early, and we uplinked our sim brief data to the EFB of this aircraft. So once Rachel puts in our destination, that being Kilo Tango Papa Alpha, she's going to go to flight plan request and request our route file. And our route file that we're going to select is SWA 1095 with service to Tampa, and that's from SimBrief. And now Southwest Virtual Airlines and LUV'd 5 does have SimBrief integration. And our route is on request now. Coming here to the EFB, we're going to grab our departure weather. You guys are going to see the temperature. It's currently 16 degrees Celsius. And it is raining outside. We're going to go ahead and pull up our departure airport chart 10-9. It's going to be the chart that we're referencing today. We're going to be departing off of 20 Center here out of Nashville. And we'll get to that a little bit later on in the pre-flight. As of right now, we're going to go ahead and load our route. And the route data uplink is complete. We're going to activate and execute our route now into the FMC of the aircraft, and we're going to carry on with the AOM. We're going to come up here to the upper overhead panel, run through the lead edge device test. ELT as installed, armed, ELT light out. GPS, ILS, and GLS lights as installed, extinguished. IRS mode selectors, nav. Service interphone switch is off. NG reverser lights extinguished. EEC switches on, alternate light out. Crew oxygen pressure is checked. Passenger oxygen switch normal/guarded. Flight recorder test switch to test. Mock airspeed warning test number 1. Mock airspeed warning test number 2. Stall warning test number 1. Stall warning test number 2. And because we skipped the external inspection, we haven't been on ground power for long enough to have the stall warning test number 2 be completed. But that's alright. Yaw damper is going to go on. We're going to go ahead and set panel brightness. And we're going to come back into the FMC of the aircraft and continue the flight deck preparation here in the FMC. As talked about and briefed before in the EFB, we're departing 20 right here out of Nashville. Our call sign is going to be SWA 1095 on this route. We're going to go ahead and hide the yoke and set its main panel brightness all throughout the flight deck. We're going to go ahead and wait for our IRS to initialize, and then we'll run through the flight deck preparation procedure with Rachel. As of right now, we're just going to continue working on the FMC. We're going to come over here to departure/arrival and pull up our departure out of Nashville, runway at 20 center. We're going to be departing on the tip-in 3 SID Braxton transition. We'll execute that. Come back here to arrivals into Tampa. We'll select our arrival. We're going to be on the Matty 5 arrival. Hondid transition. And the ILS 1 left. Final approach fix for the transition, so we'll select no transition, and we'll execute that into the FMC. We'll come over here to init. We'll slide over here to the perf page. We'll do the same here with Rachel's FMC. And once again, using the uplink to FMC feature built into LUV'd Cars 5, we're going to go ahead and request our takeoff PWB data. And that chime there is a indication that our takeoff PWB data is ready to be uplinked. So we're now going to uplink our takeoff PWB data into the secondary FMC. Alright, now that Rachel's done uplinking our takeoff PWB data, we're going to go ahead and run through the flight deck preparation procedure. I'm going to get a good look at Rachel working her magic. Pressurization panel set. She's going to go ahead and set the altimeter. Minimum cleanup altitude. V2 speed departure heading departure course. I recently found this out too. Rachel can multitask. So we're gonna go ahead and have her set the cruise altitude on today's flight. Set altitude, flight level 370.
Check.
She's gonna go ahead and set the MCP panel for us. She's gonna run through the GPWS system test. After she completes that, she's going to come down here to the transponder, set it standby and zeros, run through the TCAS test, and then set our transponder.
TCAS test.
Flight deck preparation complete.
Alright, now that Rachel's done with the flight deck preparation, we're going to go through the before start checklist.
Before start checklist. FMC.
Programmed.
Briefings.
Complete.
Oxygen masks and quantity.
Checked.
EECs.
On.
Navigation switches.
Normal.
Display switches.
Auto and normal.
Fuel.
15.7 cleared with 15.7. Center pumps off.
Passenger signs.
On.
Window heat.
On.
Hydraulic pumps.
A's off, B's on.
Pressurization.
Set auto.
Flight instruments.
3019 set.
Auto brake.
RTO.
Takeoff warning horn.
Checked.
Parking brake.
Set.
Transponder.
TARA.
Aileron and rudder trim.
Centered.
OFP fit for duty.
Accepted and signed.
Before start checklist complete.
Start APU.
Check.
All right. Rachel's firing up the APU for us. We got our clearance over to Tampa. We're going to go ahead and set our squawk code. And we're going to have her set our COM 1 over to ground. Set COM 1 121.90.
Check.
Alright, we're on ground now. And so we're going to go ahead and run through the before push checklist. Before push checklist.
Before push checklist. 0 fuel weight.
133.6. Set.
Gross weight.
149.7. Cross-checked.
PWB remarks.
Reviewed.
N1s.
43 over 16. Reduced set.
Runway.
Set.
Flaps.
PWB 5. CDU 5. Set.
V speeds.
139, 142, 148. Set.
Stab trim.
Set.
Min cleanup altitude.
1599. Set.
Flight deck door.
Lights out.
APU bleed on. Before push checklist complete.
Pushback procedure.
Check. Pushback procedure complete.
Alrighty, we're ready to rock and roll. We're gonna go ahead and call up the ground crew and get on out of here.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Flight deck to ground, we've been cleared. Push starts. Nose facing left. Parking brakes released.
All engines clear. Start at will.
Start number 2.
Start number 2.
American 2244, yes ma'am, I wanted to get in touch with you. The engine was changing your edict time, and I wanted to make sure you knew about it. You have a 0214 edict, 0214.
Oil pressure. Light off.
Ladies and gentlemen, if we could have your attention for just a moment, we'd like to point out the safety features of our Boeing 737-800.
Roll back. Ready to start number 1.
Start number 1.
Start number 1. Oil pressure. Light off.
Please set parking brake.
American 2244, you up? Did you hear that by chance?
Roll back.
Unlocking gear.
Ready for after start procedure.
After start procedure.
Check. Standing by flaps.
Tow truck disconnected.
Flaps 5.
Bypass pin removed.
Flaps 5.
Left is clear. Right is clear.
Stop APU.
Okay, I'll turn the APU off.
It is also prohibited to consume alcohol that you have brought with you on this flight. Federal aviation regulations require passenger compliance with the lighted passenger information signs, posted placards, and crew member instructions, including information on seat belts and smoking.
Before taxi checklist.
Before taxi checklist. Electrical.
Generators on.
Probe heat.
On.
Anti-ice.
Off.
Flight controls.
Forward, left, back, right, forward, neutral, left rudder, right rudder. Sweep back up, back down. Free,
Flight deck windows.
closed and locked.
Flaps.
CD5 indicates 5, green light.
Before taxi checklist. Complete.
Alright, I'm gonna get the weather radar on my ND. Range is set 20 nautical miles. 10 for Rachel's ND. Taxi light is gonna go on. And we'll get the wipers on as well. Brakes release. Introduce thrust. We want to keep it below 35% because we're in the ramp. Once we get out onto Tango 4, probably increase N1 up a little bit. But we cannot go above 45% N1. Pretty simple taxi out today. It's just going to be Yankee, first left, Tango 4, cross runway 31. On Tango 4, Tango 4 to Sierra 7, full length departure 20 center. Alright, we're going to be crossing runway 31 and 13. Lights on.
Lights on.
Second, right onto Sierra 7. And we're now clear runway 31. Lights off.
Lights off.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've been cleared for departure. Enjoy your flight.
Before takeoff checklist.
Before takeoff checklist. Min takeoff fuel.
Verified.
Departure plan.
Complete.
Attendant notification.
Complete.
Electrical.
Generators on.
Anti-ice.
Off.
Packs.
Auto.
Bleeds.
Engines on, APU off.
Start switches.
Left continuous.
APU.
Off.
Flaps.
CDU 5 indicates 5, green light.
Start levers.
Idle.
Recall.
Checked. Checked. Set.
Before takeoff checklist complete.
Alright, short 20 center, over to tower we go. Satcom 118.60.
Check.
18.6 is set. Before takeoff checklist is completed. I'm gonna go ahead and start the clock. Parking brake's gonna go released. Lights on.
Lights on. V1. Rotate.
Positive rate of climb.
Gear up.
Positive rate. Landing gear up.
Mandate. Direct Rory. Flaps 1.
Flaps 1.
Flaps up.
Flaps up.
Taxi light off. Wipers off as well. Rachel sets the auto brake off and landing gear off as well. And increases her ND display range to 20 nautical miles. We're going to go ahead and pull up the tip and 3 departure. Satcom 1, 118.40.
Check.
At 10,000 feet.
10,000 feet.
Climb checklist.
Climb checklist. Pressurization.
Checked.
Start switches.
Off.
APU.
Off.
Climb checklist complete.
Alright, we're past the transition level. We'll run through 18,000 feet standard set.
Check.
She'll do everything on her side. We're going to set the altimeter to standard, and landing lights are going to come off. We have reached our cruising altitude of 37,000 feet. We quickly got to get ready for Alright, we quickly have to get ready for top of drop here into Tampa. We're going to go ahead and pull up the approach plate that we're going to be referencing to on the arrival. Select Tampa approach. We're on the ILS. 1 left. Chart 21-1. Set barrel minimum 0211.
Check.
Set altitude 026.
Check.
And then the ILS frequency is going to be 108.9. Set. Come here to the progress page. We can check nautical miles till top of descent, which is 5.5 now. Descent checklist.
Please request landing PWB data so that I can help you with your request.
We're going to go ahead and request our landing data now. And decrease the ND display. Landing PWB data is requested. Descent checklist.
Descent checklist. Minimums.
Set.
VREF and VTarget.
146, 151. Set.
Auto brake.
3. Set.
Recall.
Checked.
Descent checklist complete.
Net ref, we'll select flaps 30. We're going to knock it down to 146. Set that as our flap / speed VREF. And we are on the descent now. We're going to go ahead and make our descent PA now. From the flight deck, we have begun our initial descent into Tampa. We expect to arrive at Tampa in the next 30 minutes or so. Flight attendants will be coming around shortly to secure the cabin for landing. $18,000 feet approaching the transition level. We'll come here, take a look at the weather in Tampa. Grab the altimeter. Set altimeter 30.17.
Check.
Approach checklist.
Approach checklist. Altimeter.
3017 set.
Pax.
Auto.
Start switches.
Left continuous.
Approach checklist complete.
Good night. Right turn 270, 2600, Delta 20, Delta 63.
Alright, we're coming up here on the last fix of the star, which is Phelim. Phelim at 4,000. From 4,000, we're going to go to Lagoo. Lagoo 26,000, at or above 2,600 feet. Currently at 210 on the speed. We're going to go, left 095.
Don't got it yet.
We do have 2,600 feet set in the mode control panel. And from Phelim, we're going to go heading select. Or we can probably just proceed direct Lagoo. Arm the approach, get configured, and then arrive into one left at Tampa. Flaps 1.
Flaps 1.
Direct Lagoo. LNAV. Drag required. Flaps 1 in transition. Flaps 5.
Flaps 5.
There's a cloud there.
Set heading 007.
Check.
Flaps 5 speed bug set. Flaps 5 green light.
And approach Delta 1057.
Set calm 1, 119.50.
Here at Sarasota.
Check.
Tower, American 553 is with you, let's one left.
American 553, Tower, runway 1 left, clear to land.
Clear to land, 1 left, American 553.
Air Mexico 9447, contact departure, good day.
Departure, I don't think you can go at 9 hours.
11 miles out.
United Supertug, good.
Airport in sight.
Air, United Supertug, roger, pushback first.
17 knot crosswind. And we got the localizer.
Tampa Tower, Southwest 1744, approaching Selwyn inbound, 1
We're gonna descend to 2600 from 2600 at Salam
Go to land, 1 left, Southwest
or
1744.
Selman. We're gonna descend via the glide path.
Yeah, for American 553, you verify Sigmund 1 left?
Yes, Air, American 553, runway 1 left, clear to land.
Sigmund, thanks, American 553.
1636, turn right, taxi ramp with me, your discretion, have a good night.
Gear down.
Landing gear down.
Flaps 15.
Flaps 15.
Flaps 15, speed bug. Arm spoiler.
Mod 2 maintenance, good.
Flaps 30. Set target.
Flaps 30.
Target 151 set.
Yeah,
Flaps
where
30
right
in
now?
transition.
You're at feet 42, you want to go to 45?
Before landing checklist.
Alright,
Before
you can
landing
go to your
checklist.
discretion.
Speed brake.
Armed green light.
Landing gear.
Down 3 green.
Flaps.
30 green light.
Before landing checklist complete.
American 544, turn right and taxi to the ramp, your discretion with me, have a good night.
Towers 158, R9 1 right.
Airspeed 151, sync rate 750.
10507.
1 right, clear to land, still 158.
Yeah, it's
My aircraft.
500.
Right?
My throttles.
Alright, pursuers request it.
Tampa Tower, from this flight 3323, inbound, visual 1 left.
Approaching minimums.
Frontier flight 3323, runway 1 left, for the land.
Minimums.
1 left,
Landing.
3323.
100,
Third 1164, your
50.
discretion, runway 1 right.
30, 10,
Extended. Deployed. knots.
Reverser stowed.
Auto
Manual
brake disarm.
braking.
Runway 1 right, for the land.
1 right, clear to land, 158.
And speed brakes down.
1744, turn right, taxi to the ramp via Whiskey Bravo, Bravo 1, does frequency.
Whiskey Bravo, Bravo 1.
Please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened, seat back and tray table in their full upright and locked position.
Roger 130, tell heavy your discretion on
And
the
we'll continue here on Bravo. Take Bravo to cross the bridge, and then, as you guys can see over there, a bunch of Southwest aircraft parked at the Charlie airside, and that's where we're going, the Charlie airside.
Small portable electronic devices, but please remain seated and leave your carry-on stowed.
Good evening, American 844. LS, 1 left.
American 844, runway 1 left, clear to land.
Clear land, 1 left, American 844.